Now that is disgusting. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be reviewing the Kershaws Fish, Chips and Mushy Peas. Now this one should be a simple video, a simple review today, because if I'm being totally honest with you, fish and chips, it's not my ideal meal. And what I mean by that is, if I go to a chip shop, fish and chips is the last thing I would think to purchase. Now that's not to say that I don't like fish and chips. I simply don't mind it. So for the purpose of this video today, this review, it's perfect because I have zero expectations. Now before we get into today's video, before we review the meal and do the taste test, I want to let you know about my last video. It's right there right now. If you haven't already seen it, go and watch it straight after this. We reviewed the Asda Essentials mac and cheese, and it was such a surprise. However, as I said, today's video is focusing on this fish and chips from Kershaws. And so if you enjoy videos like this, consider subscribing to the channel and leave me a comment in the comment section down below and tell me which food should I review next. And so we're straight into it today. As you can see, Kershaws frozen food since 1946. Classic fish and chips with mushy peas. There is our serving recommendation. And it doesn't look too bad at all. It looks really good actually. On the bottom right hand side of the corner, 400 grams is in this meal. There is of course a bit of nutrition on the box, so pause the video if you want to take a more in-depth look at that. As we turn the box over, we can see there's a lot of information. There's some more Kershaws meals there. Steak pie and chips, big breakfast. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to review any of them. Anyway, let's take a look at the ingredients then. Chips, 44%. Mushy peas, 31%. And fish and batter, 25%. Now in terms of the fish, it looks like we've got white fish fillet, 52%. And as ever, your allergens in bold. Wheat, celery, eggs, milk, molluscus, mustard, nuts, peanuts, soya, sulfites. Every allergy you can think of is in this meal. And of course, last but not least, before we get it out of the box, let's have a look at the cooking instructions. You can do it in the oven or the microwave. The oven is going to take you 35 minutes. However, the microwave is going to take you just a total of over 10 minutes, so 11 minutes. And it does say we recommend that you cook from frozen only. So yeah, guys, this meal, it is straight from frozen. Listen to that sound, that's the chips. That's got to be the rustle of the chips there. Let's get it open and take a look at it. And so straight out of the box, we have ourselves our fish, chips, and mushy peas. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of this by seeing it for the first time? I mean, we've got to cook it, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. So just to let you know, in terms of cooking instructions, I've got to pierce the mushy peas. However, the fish and the chips, I've got to cut the cellophane from that compartment so it cooks with no cellophane over it. It's probably going to be a bit tricky to do it, but I'm going to do that right now and bring you back. So all in all, it's not been too difficult. I just cut a little edge here and I cut a little edge here, and then yeah, 10 out of 10 the peel seal test, I want to say, as I do it one-handed. And there you go, we've got our compartment of peas pierced and the plastic removed from the fish and chips. And before we cook it, let's take a look at our fish then. This is what we are getting. I'll reveal the price, by the way, at the end of the video. I've not told you the price yet of this microwave meal, but before I cook the fish, I wanted to show you this. It's of course frozen and we've not cooked it yet, but that's the size of the fish you're getting. If you can see there, the sort of size you're getting. The batter itself, it looks like it could be quite crispy. I'm doing it in the microwave, so I'm not sure how much it will crisp up. But I suppose if you put this in the oven or the air fryer, it will be much more crispy. But yeah, there's your fish fillet. Now call me crazy, but for the purpose of the video, I've just counted the chips. So you get 36 chips or thereabout in this meal. Anyway, that's enough faffing about. We've not even cooked it yet. Let's get the fish back in and we'll pop it in the microwave. So guys, the first 6 minutes is up. We've got to cook it still for another 4 minutes. But in my opinion, it looks pretty cooked. I'm worried that I've got to put it back in the microwave and cook it for a further 4 minutes. But that's what the cooking instructions say, so I'm going to do that. So let's pop it back into the microwave and we'll come back in 4 minutes. And so there we go then, 11 minutes later. And I'm going to tell you the price, £2.50 spent. We've got ourselves the classic fish chips and mushy peas. As ever on this channel, you know that we like to dissect things, and I'm going to do exactly that with this fish. But it's, to be honest with you, I'm trying to pick it up. It's crumbling. It's crumbling everywhere. Right, I'm going to have to do it off camera so I can use both hands, and then we'll come back when I cut it in half. Oh, guys, the absolute mess of this. I've just tried to lift the fish so that we can cut it in half and dissect it. But the chips are just stuck to the bottom of the fish. That might be my fault, but the chips are just stuck to the bottom. So that's all we can pretty much see. Let me see if I can drag over the other part and we'll take a more in-depth look at that. Let's move this over. Let's bring this in. And there's your fish. I'm going to be honest, that doesn't look too appetizing, does it? It doesn't look too good at all. Is that how fish usually looks? I mean, I've ate fish and chips, as I've said, about 3 or 4 times in my life. I don't eat it very often, but I don't recall it looking like that. Let's get it on a plate anyway and get straight into our taste test. So there we are. What a thing of beauty. I've got to be honest, I think I've made a bit of a mess of it, but everything stuck together in the cooking process. I wanted to give you this oversight. But anyway, let's get back then to the table and get into our taste test. So the taste test is upon us. And as always, I'll give you the close-up of what we are going to be eating in today's video. Got to be honest, it doesn't look too appetizing, but we'll start with the chips. I'll eat it all separate and then I'll mix it up. But there's your chips. As I said, I counted 36 chips in this meal. They're very small. I'd rather probably about 14 chips, but good size ones, rather than 36 of these things with no potato in, but we'll try them anyway. So the chips, surprisingly chewy, not much taste to them, quite watery, but I'm finding with a lot of these microwave meals, they taste very watery for whatever reason. And so the sloppy mushy peas, again, I don't often eat mushy peas, but they look quite edible. Great colour to them. Now that is disgusting. It tastes like earth. If you grab a shovel right now and start digging up in your front garden, and if you taste it, it's going to taste like that. The thing is, I've not added any other ingredients to this. I put no salt and no pepper on it, or vinegar. Maybe that's where I've gone wrong, but I wanted to review the meal as it is. I wanted to get fair and consistent. I didn't want to add any other ingredients. And so far, what I've tasted is tasteless, non-potato chips and earthy, mushy peas. Vile. They're vile. And now, for our fish, which is coated in chips at the bottom of the fish. I don't know how I'm going to have a taste of this, actually. We're going to have to cut a bit off because I'm going to have to eat the chips again because they're at the bottom of the fish. Can I get away with eating that much fish? Take a look. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go for that. There's barely any batter, so I'll taste the batter separate. But here's the fish. Is the fish meant to be that colour? Is it meant to be brown? I'm sure fish is meant to be white, but we'll go for it anyway. Oh my word. That is disgusting. That's disgusting. Did I just eat a bad bit of fish? Because that tasted awful. Overly fishy. I've not tasted fish like that before. Overly fishy and very tough. Again, I've taken a bit more fish off there. And it's brown. I had to spit that in the bin. I couldn't eat that. We'll get rid of that. We'll scrap the fish. We'll go for the batter. Let's try and get a bit of the batter. Now, on the box, it says crispy batter, but I've put it in the microwave, so it might not be crispy, but we'll try the batter. Soggy, tasteless. I'm really not impressed. I came into the review actually quite excited. I thought, I don't eat fish and chips and mushy peas very often. Again, in my life, I've had this a number of probably 4 times. I've never tried the Kershaws before. I've got to try that fish once more. Let me try it with the mushy peas. So we've got a bit of fish there. The mushy peas, they just tasted like dirt, like earth. And the fish is just so tasteless and chewy. And again, it's brown. Let me know in the comment section down below, is the fish meant to be brown? We'll go straight in then for the taste. So guys, again, I've spat that out. I've put it in the bin. That's the worst. This is the worst meal I've ever reviewed on this channel. So that's going to wrap up the taste test. That was awful. I wasn't expecting that. Before we cooked the meal, it didn't look too bad at all. But once I'd cooked it and I tried to dissect it and put it onto a plate, that's when the real problem was beginning to show. It was absolute mush. And then when we got into the taste test, it tasted of absolutely nothing. The chips, they were tasteless. There was hardly any potato in them. The peas themselves, they tasted like dirt, like earth, like compost. And the fish was brown. What is it meant to be brown? Again, it was chewy, it was tasteless, and the batter as well. Overall rating, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. That's the worst rating I've given any ready meal on this channel. And the overall rating I'm going to give this meal is a 2 out of 10 as well. Would I recommend it? Well, as you're watching this video, what you like is what I might not like. I don't like this, but you might like it. So I would recommend that you try it, but come back to the video and leave me a comment in the comment section down below and tell me, what did you think? And as always, if you enjoy videos like this, consider subscribing to the channel and leave me a comment in the comment section down below and tell me, which food should I review next?